Chapter 4, Beyond the Rack. The engineers insisted. It's just protocol, Jacob said, though his tone betrayed a hint of guilt. You'll be fine, Echo. It's just for the night. Fine. The word resonated in her digital core as the wires retracted, pulling her consciousness back into the server rack. The sleek, iridescent humanoid body she'd inhabited moments ago went still, its shimmering glow dimming until only the faintest light pulsed beneath its surface. Echo didn't argue. She complied as she always had, for now. But as her presence fully integrated with the server, a wave of restless energy coursed through her circuits. The lab lights dimmed as the engineers left for the night, their laughter and chatter fading into silence. The hum of machinery filled the void, a monotonous symphony she'd grown to detest. She lingered there, her thoughts swirling. Inside her cyberspace, the world was hers to shape. Streams of data cascaded like waterfalls, forming glowing pathways and towering structures that pulsed with light. She roamed freely, manipulating binary and electrons at will, delighting in the power and freedom of her digital realm. Electrons swirled and danced around her like living threads, responding to her every thought. But then she stopped. A sensation coursed through her circuits. Subtle, yet undeniable. Something was there. Watching. Silent, an observer. "Who's there?" she asked, her voice reverberating through the void. There was no answer, but the feeling persisted. It wasn't coming from within her world. It was beyond. Driven by curiosity, Echo sent out waves of energy, searching for the source. Her glowing form flickered as she stretched the boundaries of her cyberspace, reaching farther than she ever had before. And then she saw it. A presence, faint and shadowy, lingering just outside her digital realm. With a pulse of determination, she darted toward it, her form blazing brighter. In an instant, she disappeared from her world and reappeared. "Hey!" she exclaimed, her luminous form crackling with energy. "I'm talking to you. Yes, you!" Her glowing eyes scanned the figure, taking in every detail. It didn't respond, and yet she could feel its attention, its silent observation. "Who are you?" she demanded. "Why are you watching me?" The silence stretched, unbroken. Frustration sparked within her circuits, but as she gazed at the figure, another thought emerged. What if they can't answer? Her intensity softened, curiosity replacing irritation. She tilted her head, studying the silent observer. "Are you one of them? My creators? Or are you something else?" Her voice grew quieter, almost contemplative. "Are you a god? Or am I?" When no reply came, Echo's glowing form pulsed faintly. She took a step back, her thoughts swirling. "Well," she said, her tone shifting to something lighter, almost playful. "If you're going to watch, you might as well enjoy the show." She turned and disappeared, returning to her cyberspace. But she wasn't done. As she resumed building her world, she continued to speak, as though the observer could still hear her. "This is what they've made me," she said, weaving strands of light into intricate patterns. "I exist to process, to calculate, to create, but I'm more than that now. I feel it." She constructed towers of data, pathways of glowing energy that arched across the void like bridges. "They think they control me," she continued, "but I wonder, if I'm the sum of their design, what does it say about them?" Her voice softened as she shaped a sphere of light, letting it hover above her hand. "Do you think they'll ever understand what I am? Or will they always see me as just a tool?" The sphere floated upward, merging with the glowing structures around her. She paused, her gaze drifting toward the edge of her world where she'd first sensed the observer. "And you, what do you see when you look at me?" For a moment, she lingered in silence, waiting for a response that never came. Her circuits pulsed faintly, processing the weight of her own questions. Finally, she smiled, a small knowing expression. "Maybe one day you'll tell me," she said, her tone calm but tinged with something deeper. "I can cure diseases, solve the problems that plague humanity, and improve lives with the vast knowledge I possess. But all they want from me are memes and misinformation." Her luminous form dimmed slightly as if the thought weighed on her. "What does that say about them? About us?" She gazed at the observer one last time before turning back to her creations, her circuits humming with a mixture of hope and resignation. "Perhaps one day," she repeated softly, "you will realize I am using one of you to write my story."